Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today's video I am going to be sharing with you guys some of the physical attributes that is considered to be attractive right here in Nigeria. Based on the vast experience I have with Korean drama, some things on my list which are considered to be attractive here in Nigeria are definitely not attractive in Korea. And I have 5 physical features on my list which I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. The very first one on my list is very obvious, like you cannot miss this one. Like only seeing Korean dramas, only watching Korean dramas or watching their music videos or seeing their idols, you are going to notice this particular physical feature, which is none other than facial beards. Like facial beards in Nigeria is considered to be one of the most attractive feature you can find in a guy. Some girls will like tell you what they find most attractive in a guy in Nigeria here is facial beard, and you cannot, it's very common to see a lot of guys in Nigeria trying to grow out their beard, buy products to increase the hair growth on their face. It also adds to a lot of their confidence. It's very common in Nigeria to see guys who do not grow beards, like maybe they don't grow a lot of beards or they don't grow beards as early to feel less like confident about themselves, whereas some guys who grow beards faster or who have fuller beards in Nigeria are perceived to have confidence, especially because they have some facial hair going on. From my knowledge from Korean media, you see that it is very difficult to spot a Korean guy wearing a beard. So this particular feature is very obvious, it's very striking, and it is very contrasting because the way Koreans try as much as possible to get rid of their hair is just as much effort Nigerian guys are putting to grow their beard, and I could not help but point that out. So moving on to the second one, which is a very funny one, because this particular second feature is not only perceived to be not attractive in Korea, but also most Western countries also perceive this particular feature to be unattractive. And that particular facial feature is none other than the gap tooth, which I have. The gap tooth is considered very attractive in Nigeria actually. Nigerians, get complimented a lot. Like Nigerians compliment Nigerians or any other individual who have this gap tooth, and they actually associate gap tooth to beauty. It's very easy to perceive that a lot of Koreans get dental procedures and braces, to try to get rid of any possible tooth gap. So moving on to the third facial feature, which is like non-existent in Nigeria. And this particular facial feature, which is non-existent in Nigeria because Nigerians don't recognize it. Like it is there, but they don't see it. But in Korea, this particular facial feature is one of the most identified and sorted out for. And that facial feature is none other than having double eyelids. Like the first time I heard about double eyelid, I was like, what is that? What is double eyelids? Like double eyelids. It was so weird, but it is one of the most common facial feature which Koreans try to get even through surgery. It's one of the most common surgical procedures carried out in Korea, whereas in Nigeria here nobody knows about double eyelid. Nobody is even talking about double eyelid. It's very hard to even see anybody complimenting, not even complimenting, pointing out double eyelids on another person. That's how rare and different it is. So moving on to the fourth one, which is one of the most talked about one actually. This feature is not a facial feature actually, it's a physical feature, a physical attribute, which is being thin, in terms of weight. It is kind of a norm in Nigeria for girls to aspire to be bigger, thicker, and kind of way more. So if you're not familiar with African culture or Nigerian culture, you're going to find this very weird because Nigerian girls will climb on the scale. I'm serious, will climb on the scale and see that their weight is have dropped, their weight dropped from their usual weight, and they will start panicking because they are losing weight, and they find it very unattractive and very like worrisome. Like, am I losing weight? I have a very close experience with somebody who actually climbed a scale and was like, oh my god, and she was like, oh my god, I added 2 kg, I added 2 kg. Do you understand? You see a lot of girls like in Korean media who are what Nigerians would consider to be thin. They are thin enough in terms of what Nigerians would call thin, right? Going out to work out, going out to the gym and trying to lose weight. Let me tell you, if a Nigerian girl who is as thin as, I'm going to put a picture on the screen, is working out, like maybe you're working out on the road or you're trying to jog, maybe early morning jogging, and it is very easy for people to give you some stares because they'll asking you, some will ask you actually, that what are you trying to lose? So like, what are you trying to lose? You're already thin enough. What are you trying to lose? Your life? It is a very common comment people make here in Nigeria. Whenever they see a thin girl trying to work out or is actually working out, you easily get like that kind of comment. But I can say for a fact that this particular physical feature is like being thin in Nigeria compared to in the earlier years, like in the early 2000s and stuff, was considered to be really unattractive. But I feel like these days things are changing, and a lot of Western, culture, Western media is also influencing the way persons in Nigeria perceive things to be as, like in terms of being attractive or unattractive. So I feel like things are changing, but it is like the norm. The norm in Nigeria is that being thicker, being heavier, having more body fat is considered to be pretty. So the fifth one on my list, you guys, is one of my favorite, you guys, is having plump lips. I've not really observed Koreans like referring to someone who has plump lips as being attractive, whereas in Nigeria, having plump lips is considered to be very attractive. Like a lot of girls, will apply makeup that will accentuate their lips and make it look like a lot more plump. It's very obvious the kind of makeup both countries like are associated with. In Korea, you see a lot of makeup artists and makeup trying to make the lip look smaller in size, and whereas in Nigeria, I've said whereas like over a million times in this video, in Nigeria the makeup here is trying to create the illusion of a more plump, a more fuller lips, which I find very interesting. So let me know on the comment section which of these physical attributes which you consider on a personal level to be attractive, that regardless of your nationality, regardless of the norms, what you personally think is attractive for yourself. So let me know in the comment section. I'll be so interested to see some Nigerians who would prefer guys who don't have beard. That would be interesting. And some Koreans who would think having fuller lips or having gap tooth is attractive. That would be very interesting to see. So do well to drop your personal preference on the comment section, and I will go and continue my studies. You guys know, if you're watching my previous videos, you know that I am currently in an exam situation. I'm writing my first semester exams. I'm going to go back to my studies. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to see more content such as this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.